All right, I am at Phoenix here in the truck series. I'm going to try to lay down a decent lap. Then I'm going to try to get the lap down. Then I'm going to try to talk about everything. Um, this setup is capable of running 27 ones. I have ran faster than that with a different setup, but it burned the right rear tire off, and that is what you struggle with at Phoenix. So I had to basically come up with a setup that was a little bit slower, but would at least give you some. It was much more drivable over the long haul. Um, this will last pretty much a full fuel run, and it really doesn't get loose on you even at the end of the fuel run. So I think it's a pretty decent setup. That was a 2708, which was better than I thought I could do with this setup. I want to point out a couple things here. Watch the hands as I am driving. I call it, or refer to it as quiet hands. I'm not jerking the wheel all over the place as I am going through a corner. I turn the wheel to set the car into the corner, and then once I am turned, I am done until we are out. I kind of let the truck come to me. I feel it settle, and then once it is settled, then I start getting back into gas as much as I can, and you get a feel for when you can get back into gas and how hard you can get back into gas. But if you can, I call it quiet hands is the phrase I use. Well, that's not good, but hopefully you have seen it over a few laps to kind of see what I'm talking about. I will tell you, how you drive makes a huge difference in the tire wear. I ran this setup through a full fuel run, or I shouldn't say a full fuel run. I had to pit for tires basically at the time that the low fuel light was coming on, so I was pretty close to the end of a fuel run. Several things to talk about here. I talked about the hands and the technique. Let's go into what a lap looks like here at Phoenix, and then we will go to the setup. And I will tell you, you can drastically change the tire wear with how you are driving. You can jerk on the wheel all over the place and actually burn the front tires off first. But the line, I try to look at this Gatorade sign as the start of the corner, and what I am doing is I am starting to turn here, there. About the second one is where I am starting to get off the gas and onto the brakes, and I am ever so slightly on the brakes. I don't mind. I try to stay close to the yellow line, but if in the middle of the corner I am drifting up about a groove up, I'm not that concerned about it. You can still get a decent lap time out of it. What I do try to focus on though is being low coming off the corner. You can get down here, especially with new tires, but I was down here even with kind of old tires and wasn't having problems with the truck sliding around on me. But being low coming off the corners, preferably, more or less inside this suggested line. I think that saves some time coming off the corners, is being a little low. So that's kind of why you can sacrifice being a little high in the middle to be lower coming out. I brake really, really, really early for 3. I am trying to brake really about right here, which is really kind of before I get to these 3 cones that are your marker that you're coming up into the corner. I am braking, and when I come into 3, I'm usually braking a little bit hard. I'm pressing the pedal probably halfway down or maybe a little less, but I'm on it quick and off it quick. And then what I try to do is get down close to this inner wall here, and if things are going really, really well, I can basically get the truck down here around the yellow line or so the rest of the way around here. If you're looking at where you can get grip and where you can't, there is kind of a black line right here that is right beside me. Anything below that, you're probably going to spin out. But if you can get back on the gas early, be on it hard, and stay down here, you're really setting yourself up for a good lap. When I am coming through the corner, I don't like the suggested line. I don't think it is a very natural arc. So like I said, I am a lot of times below it, but then as I come out of the corner, a lot of times I am up here above it, but then it is giving me kind of a downhill run because I go above it there as I'm in 4, but then I get a downhill run and come way below the suggested line coming to the start-finish line. So that is a lap at Phoenix. That is my technique with the hands and everything that I am showing you. And like I said, how you drive the truck can drastically change the tire wear. It really makes a huge difference how much you're jerking that wheel around and how much you're on and off the gas and everything. So try to be as smooth as you can at Phoenix. I really think it does help both. But with all that being said, let's go look at the setup. So this setup, what to say. I went with a low front weight. I tried a higher front weight and wedge. I wound up coming back to a lower one. I tried a high front weight and a low wedge. I tried every combination I could. I could run a fast lap with about any of them, but I struggled to find something that didn't burn the right rear tire off. What I finally did that helped with the right rear tire wear was I went down on the right spring. I tried every other adjustment I could think of to try to tighten the car up. None of them really, they all tightened the car up, but they didn't help the wear. I almost was beginning to think it was just a setting in the game that no matter what you did, the right rear tire burned at a certain rate. But I finally found that right rear spring and lowering it is what helped the tire wear. Not much to say about tire pressure. I got pretty aggressive on the camber, especially the left front camber, and I got that aggressive because the front tires aren't what you usually burn off at Phoenix. You usually burn the rear tires off, so you can get pretty aggressive with the camber settings. The left and right track bar, I was all over the place on it, and I finally came to 10 and 10.5 as a balance between what was not too tight to slow you down to where you couldn't make a decent lap, and what was loose enough that you could make a really fast lap but would burn the tires off. But I settled there. If the truck is a little loose for your taste or it get loose late in the run, I would say go down on that right track bar is your adjustment. Or you can do a number of things. You can go down on, if you're doing it in a race and you're having a problem and you can't do a track bar adjustment, go down on the right rear pressure. That will help tighten the car up. Or you can go down on the wedge. But if it's in a race and you feel like you're getting loose at the end of a run, those are your adjustments, down on the right rear pressure or down on the wedge. But like I said, I ran a full fuel run basically. The times obviously slowed down. I went from a 27.1 at the beginning to like a 27.8, almost a 27.9 at the end. So the time slowed down, but it was drivable. It was not getting loose on me every time I tried to touch the gas pedal. So, one other comment, I can get a faster lap time with a rear end ratio of 4.00. You might want to think about going to a 4.11 to race. I do feel like as the tires wear, you get a little better drive out of the corners. Excuse me, it's late at night, I'm yawning. A little better drive out of the corners if you're running a 4.11. So that's something you might want to think about if you're running a race setup versus what I've got here, especially if you feel like you're having problems keeping up as the tires wear. So that's it. Man, this was a hard one to pull off. I have spent so much time and got so frustrated trying to come up with this. So I hope you like it. I hope it is pretty fast for you. I looked at the leaderboard, and this is the last comment I have to make. I think the goal time here in test session is like a 26.7, but I looked at the leaderboard, and I think the all-time fastest lap was like a 26.9 or 26.89. So to sit here and say you're going to have a setup that you can race with or you can hit that 26.7 time doesn't seem that realistic because the game's been out 3 weeks and the fastest thing I saw on a leaderboard was a 26.9. I can come close to that. I got into the 26.9s. I think that was actually a 26.89. But again, I burned the rear tires off of it. If you want to try to set a qualifying time, you can probably bump that right rear spring up, I don't know, 30 pounds or so and get a really fast lap. Or you could probably bump both track bars up half or 3/4 of an inch. Get a really fast time, but it's not going to last for a fuel run. So I know I've talked a lot, way longer than I normally do. Thank you guys for watching. Any questions, let me know. I'm not going to say tell me if you want to see any other setups because I've got so many requests for those. I am way behind in getting them out the door. But thank you guys for the support. It means a great deal to me when I see positive comments or likes or an increase in the subscriber base. So please do me a huge favor, like and subscribe to the channel. And with that, I will end this and tell you guys once again, have a